comforting. I'll tell you that much.
Woo! We are live. We are live. But I have to wait till it shows on my screen. So at least though.
It already shows on mine.
Boom. All right. So let's go. We are live. We are here. We are about to rant away. I hope you folks are ready. Because I am. Okay, another episode of the Things I Wish I Knew About Money podcast. I'm your host, Kamille Smith, and today for episode 49, it's going to be a little bit different. I already spoke to Hayden. Welcome, Hayden. We already have a plan that we are going to just discuss what it's like to be a homeowner and just all the fun things that no one ever thinks about.
The strong feelings that we have towards home ownership.
Yes. And especially this week. But Hayden, I'm gonna first introduce you, or I want you to, actually you introduce yourself, sir. Because I met you through Harpreet, big up Harpreet. And I think it's been 2-3 years or so?
I think it might even be longer.
Oh shucks! Well,
it might be around the 5.
No! Stop this.
Yeah.
Huh?
Don't worry, it's cool. You're new to old age, but yeah, it might be closer to 5.
Well, what do you know?
Time flies when you're having fun.
Exactly, and this is gonna be a fun episode because cheers to the weekend.
Cheers.
So Hayden, actually, before we start, Hayden, I would like you to tell the people what you have in store, because I introduced it on IG once with your barbecue sauce and it was fire, literally.
Oh, so the side business. Okay.
Yes, sir. Let's talk about that first, and then we'll go into the rant.
Okay. So, hello everyone. My name's Hayden. I am actually what Cam was referencing was I'm working on my own line of sauces and rubs called Clyde Boys Sauces and Rubs. It's basically a bunch of sauces. I have a Caribbean background. And a lot of the barbecue sauces and sauces you can buy in grocery stores aren't exactly, even though they say hot or spicy, aren't exactly. So I'm working on my own that use Scotch bonnet, scorpion, and Carolina Reaper peppers, and kind of make it in a way that is hopefully tasty and delicious to the consumer. Really testing it right now. Thank you to Cam for being one of my guinea pigs. And so far the reviews have been good. So hoping to launch in spring, summer of 2022. I can't believe we're almost to 2022, but yes, that's what's going on with me right now.
Right. So hold on. Let me give you that. That horn.
The horns. Perfect.
Because it actually is really, really good. Is it the Carolina Reaper? No. The Carolina Reaper is the hottest.
Yes.
I remember that bun off my tongue.
Listen, man. Pain is just weakness leaving the body, so you're good.
I need to quote that one. But okay, so I enjoy your sauce and all that good stuff. But the main thing about you, sir, is that you've been a homeowner for a good 8 years, you'd say?
It'll be 8 years in December.
Nice.
Surprisingly enough. So yeah. Okay. It's been a while.
Dang. And how's it? What's it like being a homeowner, sir?
Honestly, it's real. Like, there's a lot more that comes with it than I kind of expected, but at the same time,
Yeah.
it's great. And I recognize the fact now that I am a homeowner, how lucky I was because uh basically the winter I bought this place
Mm-hmm.
is before the summer where the housing prices took off. So I know I'm blessed because looking at the prices right now
Yeah.
for new homeowners, it's unbelievable. So
Take a sip for that one because
it's expensive. The market is ridiculous right now.
especially because you're, and I won't say which area, but you're in the Peel region. So
Yeah, that's fine. Brampton's large. Like you're not gonna like
see, and Brampton to me is Timbuktu. We already discussed about this.
and we already know my feelings about Scarborough, so it is what it is.
But I know like in actually in
Darklands from Lion
Brampton.
King.
Silly goose. But I
Connor,
know
what's that over there? We don't go over there, son.
No, it's too far. The horizon's too far. Exactly. That's how I feel about Brampton. Shucks. But
honestly, like I like even for me before I moved here, I had never really been to Brampton. I didn't come to Brampton, but honestly, like sometimes things work out. So like my place, I love it. It's like my little area is pretty quiet and peaceful. There are things I don't necessarily love, but it's like kind of part and parcel of being a first time homeowner. So I'm lucky enough to have it. So I'm lucky enough to have those problems. That's how I see it.
Well, that's a good leeway because what were those things that you were like, oh well, had I known this, I would have definitely not done that before.
I won't say definitely not done it, but like so okay, I kind of do it in stages. So leading up to buying a house, lawyer fees aren't something that's necessarily mentioned. Land transfer tax isn't something that's necessarily mentioned. Some people say, excuse me, home inspections are voluntary. Definitely get a home inspection, no matter what, no matter how new the house is, no matter what going in. Even though I went away to school, so I kind of knew it going in, but bills are definitely something you need to pay attention to because you start to realize what your parents are talking about when they say they're not trying to heat the whole neighborhood, they're not trying to have your lights on the whole night. All that stuff definitely plays a part in.
It's true.
And then I think people need to be very mindful of what kind of house they want. So for me personally, I have a townhouse. Mine isn't freehold, it's condo incorporated, which means I pay a condo fee every month on top of my mortgage. And then that covers landscaping, snow removal on the common street, but not my driveway. Oof. And so like for example, I need the sliding door to my backyard replaced.
Yeah.
That got done through the condo corporation.
Oh.
So for my condo fee, all that stuff is included, as well as my water bill and phone and internet.
Hold on. So you have all those things taken care of. And if there's any time that you need a replacement or anything, it's covered because of the condo fees.
For stuff outside the house, and as long as it I guess meets their, so my sliding door was the original door. My house is almost 35 years old, so they had to replace it. But like you got to be careful with the stuff that needs to be replaced in that. But what I will say is, even though it's kind of good if you're, especially if you're not handy, like I'm not the most handy person in the world, so stuff like that, like I'm not going to replace my own sliding door. That being said, so I've been here 8 years.
Yeah.
In the last 3 years, my maintenance fees have almost doubled. They've gone up $200 in the last 3 years. Jeez. So like you got to be careful, and as obviously as your house ages, obviously every place in the complex is aging. So all those things need to be covered. So you got to be mindful of that. But that being said, if I were to redo my roof on my house
Yeah.
on my own and pay for that, that's a lot more than just paying my monthly fee or having to repave my driveway. Things like that are big ticket. You're not, unless you're really good, you're not necessarily going to do that on your own.
Yeah.
But those are things like the big ticket things are things you need to keep in
Consider.
mind, but it all depends on the how much wear and tear you have on your house.
That's a good dang. Like you said a lot because like we live in a semi-detached, so like I would kind of consider myself like a homeowner now because you have to pay the bills.
Yes,
so geez, like you just said pave the driveway. I remember we had to take care of that. The roof, we had to take care of that. I won't talk about what I really want to talk about just yet, but like wiring and driveway, even shoveling the driveway. I would love to pay someone to do the driveway.
Honestly, there are companies now where you could, if you, and say if I don't know what the like age and kind of breakdown of your neighborhood is, you guys could pay a company to come and do it for you.
True.
But it's just like that comes down to like organization and all that. That's what, so in my case, that's what's good to have a condo corp for.
True.
Even though I only have to take care of my own driveway, my driveway's not that big. I'm in a townhouse, so I don't have a massive driveway. But for someone like you, depending on what your neighborhood's like, it might be worth it for you.
True. Yeah, I don't like shoveling.
But it's a good workout. You're a healthy person. You're young.
I love how you call me young. Like we're not like in the same age group. Guess what?
We're in the same decade. But once you over.
Listen, when we
I woke up today and my back was hurting just from sleeping. Like it's.
Listen, I told everyone, once you get to 30, 30 is not the new 20.
Stop it.
30 is not the new 20 though. Let's be real.
Yeah, but those are the people who still want to try and turn back the clock, and then they wake up with bad knees. Like it's, you don't have to copy Megan for anything, for everything. So.
Oh man. So like, and then you have to do property tax too, right? Yes,
I do property tax every year. So that's actually one thing that I would say is good for the site realtor.com.
Yeah.
Because when you're planning, when you're looking at houses, it actually has a mortgage calculator, and it lets you know if the place, what the property tax is in that area, so you can factor that in. So that's a great resource to use.
I've never. Which one? What is it called again? Let me say it again.
Realtor.com. It used to be MLS.ca.
Okay.
It's realtor.ca.
My dog's acting up. I can hear him. Realtor.ca. Okay. And also, what's a fun fact is I know there's certain other websites that will give you like an estimate of how the area is. Like, say like 5 years ago, it was worth 600,000 and now it's like $1 million. You're able to get an idea, especially if you got some realtor connections. You can take a look at that. So it's always good to see, like, especially if you're selling the house, you'll be able to get a feel of like what people are charging or what the last person was had an offer. So you could try to get, like a better deal.
Honestly, like even for myself, like what I try and do is at least once a month, if not every couple of weeks, I usually like check realtor.ca just to see if there's anything in my complex for sure, but if not in my area, to see what people are putting up for sale and how much they're going for. And to be honest, like even in my area, in the 8 years I've been here, it's gone up quite a bit, especially like I said, especially the
Development.
last like honestly 6 months to a year in general. Even with the pandemic,
Hmm.
the prices keep going up. So I'm
I
not
mean,
sure when the bubble's gonna burst, but it
I don't
hasn't
think
stopped the
it's.
prices.
I don't think it is anytime soon. I don't think
People
anytime
keep
soon.
saying there's going to be a correction that happens, and I do think the bubble's going to burst. I just don't believe in trying to time it or wait for that to happen. Prepare for the world the way it is now, but if the bubble does burst, that just means you have more money in your pocket to leverage buying a better place.
True, true, true. But I'm waiting for that bubble a little bit. But I'm staying here as long as I can.
I don't know. I do. Eventually, the market will correct itself. It's just a matter of like if you're just sitting there waiting on the bubble to burst, you might be setting yourself up for disappointment because who knows how much it's going to correct itself.
True.
That's the thing. So I don't want to wait for the unknown. I'll just go by the way the world is now, and anything that works in my favor in the end.
And roll with the punches.
Exactly, because those punches are coming
Hectic.
fast and furious.
Right? So I guess, dang, it sucks because I guess in a sense with having a townhouse. So who would you recommend to get a townhouse? Actually, yeah, that's a good question. Who would you recommend to get a townhouse? I might have to get a townhouse. Is that all that issue you just said that I don't have to take care of? Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, but those people could still get a condo. It's all about the space you're willing to be able to take care of, I should
Yeah,
say. Because
true.
like I'm a homebody, so me cleaning the house and that, like I don't mind that.
Mm,
But for someone else, they might just want a
I
condo
don't
because
know.
it's small, it's clean, they can take care of it. But if you're out and about a lot, you're probably not going to want a townhouse.
Mm,
Because if you're a single one person,
yeah,
if you're a family, a townhouse obviously would make more sense as a starter.
true.
It really just depends on your situation. I think it's comes from a lot of reflection on
Hmm.
what you want because a townhouse definitely comes with a lot more work, especially if you're on your own. Is what
Yeah.
I would say.
But I feel like I always like when it came to thinking of a condo, I'm like, why am I paying the price of a house for a small digga space of a condo? Like, remember that meme I sent you?
Yeah, absolutely. But that's what I was saying. Like, it all depends on your lifestyle. Like, if you're someone who's kind of likes that, like the downtown life, where you're out more and you're not really necessarily cooking at home as much. You're not really just hanging out at home.
Yeah.
And maybe a condo is better for you. And then you don't have to worry about there's less security worries because you have the concierge and that whole bit. For me
True.
personally,
Hmm.
I would rather live further out. I like
Hmm.
the peace and quiet of my area, and I like having a house and I like having a backyard that's private to my own.
Backyard is key. And I'm
Yeah,
not dissing anyone that likes the condo life or loft life because
depends on your lifestyle. Whatever works better for you, but that's the whole thing. You have to be true to you. Like some people like a house lifestyle, but also want to be downtown so they can be out and about. And it just the way they're building condos now, they're a lot smaller than they used to be. So
hmm, so it's better
you
to
got to
get
think,
like
especially with the last couple of years with COVID, if you're stuck inside, these are the things you have to think about.
it's very challenging. I know like I wish that like everyone that lived in an apartment condo um at least had a balcony to like get like,
Yeah,
some fresh air and just like a different scenery than
yeah,
being through the four walls because these four walls make you go nuts sometimes.
seriously,
Right?
absolutely. Well, that's the thing too, and like some condos don't even have balconies, like you were saying. So you got it before you even go into like actually purchasing a place. Definitely look at your wants and needs, your needs
Mm-hmm.
especially, and how much that will actually cost you.
Wants and needs. So what was your, obviously, you got most of what you wanted. Did you have a list before you purchased?
Actually, my real estate agent was pretty good, and he said to come up with some wants and needs. I will say my list, because like even the last couple of years I've wanted to move, the prices were not in my favor. But like when I look at the list I created most recently versus what I wanted when I first moved out, it changed a lot.
Okay.
But
Growth.
yeah, I did make a list. What's that?
Growth.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
But like when you're first looking to move out, it's just like I just want a place. I want to be out. Yeah. So like I was saying, like I moved out going to school, so coming back home to live with my parents was a very interesting experience. So like I was just like, I want to get out of here almost a little bit. Because once you learn how to live on your own, and I'm talking about live on your own, like taking care of all the bills, keeping a clean home, that whole thing, and then coming back to your parents' schedule, it's a very different it's a very different thing.
Yes, but, that is true. Oh man.
It is, but at the same time, like I was saying, like you learn about why they may have been certain things, a certain way, like about bills, about
the lights.
About the lights.
Turn off all these lights. Why are all these lights on? Crazy. So you see honestly, me now.
Man, hydro and electric is no joke. So yes.
Oh yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. When I was living in Korea, the water bill was like $2.
Are you serious?
A month. So I was like, I'm like, guys, the water bill's like $2. I was like, this is insane. Like, I know you guys used to complain about the water.
I'll turn on the tap and go to bed. Like, for them kind of prices, what?
Right? And then like electricity depends. When it was summer, I barely used the AC. But when it was winter time and I needed that good old heat, nah, I needed that bad boy. Like,
so actually, perfect example. Using doing my laundry, it's cheaper on the weekends and after 7. So like those are the things you learn to make things cheaper. I'm not doing my laundry during the day. So.
You know how many times it costs? I'm like, hey, you see the time?
Exactly.
Don't turn on that washer. Don't turn on the dishwasher. Don't turn on the dryer before 7.
Yeah.
So these are like, and I know like if you live in an apartment, like it's included. So you're like, I could do laundry whenever. However,
that's partially true though, because even some apartments nowadays, I don't know when they started doing it, but now you can get like a lot of the units have meters, so they can tell how much you're using, so they can charge you.
I like.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, okay, that makes sense. I think that is for like individuals that live in like basement apartments.
No, even like apartment buildings.
Even apartment buildings?
Yep.
Yikes. Well, I mean, I have nothing to worry. I just make sure like 7 o'clock. Until it's 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
I don't want to see. I don't want to hear. No, I don't. Why am I hearing a sound? No.
No, like, I treat it like back in the day cell phones, like not until after 7 and weekends. So
if you were with when you were with Telus, you had to wait till 9. Like, who does that? Why?
Are you serious?
Yeah. Then I had to be like Fido. I was with Fido and it was like 7. I was okay.
Was that an East End hookup though?
Was
that an East End hookup though? After 9.
Yo, shut up. No. Not even. Like it was, oh man, that was high school times. That was like 2000. So for you, For anyone that's like a teenager or in their like early 20s, y'all don't know the struggle. Y'all don't know the struggle.
They don't even know about pagers, so they really don't know about the struggle.
That is true. I didn't have a pager, but I felt like I wasn't that cool yet to have a pager.
I thought you were gonna say I wasn't that old yet, and I was about to just log off this entire conversation.
No. I wasn't that cool. I was still using the phone booth and trying to get the excuse like I didn't have I didn't have a quarter to call.
Oh my gosh.
Excuse collect. I was like, I was thinking about the cost for you guys. That was always me.
So prior to not being on time, you were the person that couldn't get back to people. So your lives have evolved, is what you're saying. Your lives have evolved. Thank you. You can let your viewers know what I'm talking about.
You know what? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. That electricity. Oh my gosh, the 7 p.m. Or what's another cost that? Because
hydro's huge. Hydro and water are huge. Because you use water.
Yes.
And you have okay, for you, do you notice the difference on based on how much you use your dishwasher, what the effect it has on your bill? Really?
Yes. And I'm like, I haven't.
So you wait till it's full before you turn that bad boy on.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
I haven't gotten to that point where I like analyze the bill. I'm like, hey, do you see what's going on? We can make this way better. Because I don't want to be like, even though I have that finance in my head, I don't want to be like, we have to cut so much cost and all that stuff. Like the 7 p.m. for the laundry and stuff. Oh heck yeah! But the water, they're okay.
Yeah,
they're okay. So yeah, the water and the sewage. I'm still cheesed that I have to pay for those. Like the bins and stuff.
Oh, you have to pay a week, like a monthly?
Yeah, quarterly. I think it's quarterly.
Okay, no, I don't have that.
Yeah, because in Peel it's a little different. The city of Toronto with all their stuff. I'll try not to steer. It's like all the shit they have.
Okay, no. So for Peel, no, we don't have that, but I'm pretty sure our property taxes are higher than you. So okay, yes. I'll tell you right now something that pissed me off as a homeowner.
Yeah.
So they started putting up sound walls on one of the streets in Brampton, right? Just because of the noise. Halfway through, they stopped because they ran out of money. And now, as a homeowner, I'm someone who's pitching in for this on this project that you did like part of the way, and now I'm just like, okay, so this is where my money went. Now, what happens now that you stopped it? So stuff like that, you look at things different in your area as you see things done, and
definitely
money goes and things like that. I'll definitely say.
Cause they're in my area, it pisses me off. We used to have 2 lanes, right? And they decided to make it a bus lane. And if you see the traffic these days, I'm like, who the hell thought of this? Where was the note where they showed me that this was going to happen in my community? Because I wouldn't have agreed to this.
I have a question though. Do you go through every single piece of mail you get? Exactly. They definitely sent a letter. Like, because the reason why I say that is because the exact same thing happened to me. They didn't do it they didn't change it to bus lanes. They changed everything, not everything, but like all the secondary streets. A lot of the secondary streets, they went from 2 lanes to having a lane and a bike lane. And they did send letters from the city. So sorry, Lynn.
I mean, they did that a little here too. And I just get annoyed when I'm driving and the bikers are in my way. I just want to hit them down. Joking.
Wow.
I'm joking.
You might want to edit that out.
There's no editing here.
Oh, man.
I'm joking.
No, actually I got a letter the other day and they're doing a town hall, but now because of COVID, it's all virtual. So I'm actually going to join it just because you want to know what's going on in the city and where your money's going to be going. So all that stuff where my parents would get letters and I'd be like, you're going that nonsense. Now I'm just like,
But now it makes sense as we become like real adults. They were like, oh yeah, I should get involved with this and know what's going on in the community.
At the very least, to know where your money's going. You may not agree with it, and I know I definitely don't, but you at least want to know where your money's going and speak to it. And you can raise your voice if you don't agree, and that's at the very least.
At least you tried.
Exactly.
So dang. Now I gotta pay attention to those mails, huh?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
At least get like the quick read.
Okay.
At least get the quick read.
So now I understand. I'm gonna do that. And
I'll even tell you another example. Like I got a letter. So they did work on my street, and then I got a letter saying that the city is only responsible for like piping, like water, sewage.
Yes.
From the main roadway to the street. Anything like closer to my house is on me. So I got letters for like adding that to my insurance. And that's some decisions you have to make.
Insurance.
I definitely got insurance.
Of course. So how is insurance with the house?
I bundled mine with my car insurance.
Okay.
To kind of get a bit of a break. I went with the basic insurance for my house, but the weather I've seen the last couple of years kind of makes me worry because I got some big trees near my house.
Ooh,
so
yes,
it's just like you gotta worry about that too. And like, but then it's like, how much and for how long do you want to pay that added principal, or do you just want to be like, take my chances?
True. Well, I mean, so the city just cut down like a big ass tree in front of my house recently, and they said they were gonna build another one or grow another one. I don't know, but there was also a big tree on our front yard, and I want to say we've been here for 19 years. I want to say like 10 years ago, I was just like in the basement, all I hear is doof. The tree fell onto our neighbor.
Serious?
Yeah. So yes, you definitely want to be like, yeah, you got to double check that insurance just in case. Because the weather's just like messed up.
Well, I actually, it brought to mind another issue. So do you know why that tree fell?
Probably old.
Okay. Because like, so in my area, we have signs of these like they're warnings for like some sort of tree beetle. So like there's insect warnings and stuff like that. So that's also stuff you have to worry about if they get into your house, because then that you got to call like Orkin or whatever. So there's that added worry and added expense as well.
Dang, I didn't even think. Oh, adulting sucks. I just didn't know about these things. There's so many things to be aware and stuff.
There is, but at the same time, I mean, in this day and age, Google's your friend. Just do as much research as you possibly can,
especially
because I mean, it's not like you got to go to a library and look this stuff up. If you have friends that are realtors, sorry, tap into as much knowledge as you can. I
True.
mean, there's always stuff that will come up out of the blue, but
Mm-hmm.
I've listened to your guys' podcast before, adding as much streams of income as you can, so you can put as big as a down payment as you can
Yeah.
on your house, so your mortgage payments aren't as much. And that's another part that kind of sucks. Like when I first got my place,
Mm-hmm.
the rule was still allowed where, as a first time homeowner, you could
Yeah.
put the 5% down, which
Mm-hmm.
basically is a big reason of how I got my place. That being
Yeah.
said, only putting 5% down, your mortgage payments are
Huge.
that much bigger, right?
Yeah, because
But
of the insurance on that.
exactly. And but because of that, like honestly, for me, my whole goal was I just want to get into a place.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Until
like
you knew all the expenses.
yeah. Well, not honestly, like for me is as long as I can take care of the month to month and all that kind of stuff. Like when I
Mm-hmm.
first moved in, I had a TV, a kitchen table for my parents, and my
Yeah.
bed. All that other like I as months went on, I was able
Mm-hmm.
to build money and buy stuff.
Yeah,
But like you don't have to have everything you need for the house as soon as you move in. I think
that is
that's
true.
where a lot of people get caught up as well. Like it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
hurt to start off humble a little bit and
Humble
work your
yourself.
way up. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, that's true. That's actually, man, I'm trying to. Yes, because far as what I remember coming here, we had stuff in storage, like whatever we had from the apartment,
Yeah.
we moved it here. Shoot, I think, yeah. I'm looking at my bed and I'm like, it's pretty. You've been you come around. You've been to a lot of area codes.
Wow.
Not like that. It's a joke. It's a joke. A lot. But it is true that you should build instead of just like thinking like, oh, I gotta get this, that. And it's good to have a list. I'm glad
Yeah.
that you mentioned before it's good to have a list, or it's even great to like, there are things that you have from your previous place that you can
Yeah.
bring. You don't need to get everything
Everything doesn't have to
new,
be brand new, and everything
right?
doesn't have to happen right away. You don't have to just start killing your credit card buying this, that, and the third. Just
Exactly.
buy as you need, or yeah, buy as you
Yes,
need, and just like even if
exactly.
you get one piece at a time, don't put things on layaway. Don't
Don't do
do
it.
the
Don't be house
whatever the
poor,
brick has. Exactly.
right?
Don't be house poor.
Don't be house poor because we don't want people to get to that stage. Um, Also, are there certain, and I'm gonna talk about it soon if you don't if you can't answer it, are there certain house maintenance that you do a checklist every year? Like furnaces.
Like what?
So like you know how people do spring cleaning, and then in the fall and winter they prepare for the good old winter where you have to like make sure everything's working and stuff. Like, do you have to worry about that, or you're just like those condo fees
No, because like the condo fees only cover outside the house.
outside? Yes, yes, yes.
So inside, I'm like because I'm single, my
Mm-hmm.
house I don't put too much wear and tear on my house.
Okay.
That being said, like I try and take care of like the little things that need to be fixed. So like I do all air filters, I look after the plumbing, I will not touch electrical. Uh but like all the little like any kind of little stuff around my house, I try and take care of just by watching YouTube
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. Like I did the
You be like,
well, I redid
so
the and it's not
what's
even
it
good
called?
because I can't describe it. But in the tiling in the bathroom, I redid the
okay.
cement
No,
in
it's
between.
tiling. Yeah.
So I did that.
Yeah.
I kind of redid my garage and turned it into a home gym.
Ooh.
I got a friend to do the backsplash. Oh, that's another thing.
Backsplash.
Take
Boom.
advantage of friends who have trades. So the
That's
backsplash in my kitchen, I got done by a friend of mine.
mm-hmm.
So anything you can get done to like add value to your house that doesn't hit your pockets too hard, and you can
Yeah.
do it on your own. Especially, I like one of the reasons I got into it was because of the pandemic and I was home so much. But
Makes
it
sense.
saves you money and it helps you learn more about your house and learn a different skill. So
Trust me. And you know what? Here's a fun fact that when it comes to like home maintenance, and I never knew about this, but and I'm just reading off something that I researched.
okay.
I like to give you guys stats and stuff. If you at least have 3 to 5% of your home value, that's the cost of the maintenance, which is crazy. I never knew that. So like example, and I'm gonna give like an average, no, not the average of Toronto, but like an average that people feel, oh. So like a $500,000 home. Be, be prepared to pay at least 15,000
a year.
Yeah, just to keep it up, like, and it's like the shoveling, air filters, and all that stuff. Well, not shoveling because you can do it yourself if anything, but like roof or just like general upkeeps, because like lawn care. So like you see how you pay it in the condo fees. There's some people that if they're not like into gardening, they would have a lawn care. So,
True.
So if you calculate it all together, it's gonna add up to like 3 to 5% of your home value. So just be mindful about that, and appliances, when to replace appliances.
I would say appliances aren't huge, but for especially people that aren't in a condo incorporated home, roof, windows, driveway. Those are 3 very expensive things that will have to happen. But once you get them done, I mean, as long as you're treating them right, they should last long. But those are 3 very expensive, big ticket items that you need to budget for eventually having to replace.
You know what? I once saw this article, and hopefully I can find it, like the common things to replace in a house, like the roof and stuff. I hope I can find it, because I know like with appliances, especially because everything's becoming more energy efficient, that you should like actually replace those at least. Dang, I wish I could find it. That was one thing I was supposed to do. The most important thing. Aha. There we are. There we have it. The most common things to replace, other than like kitchen sponges, which they say once a week. All right. Fun fact. Did you know 12% of Americans can't even remember the last time they replaced their toothbrush?
Wow. It's pretty gross.
Right? But sorry, got off topic. So water filters. So say you have a water filter, it's advisable to change that like every 2 months. Cookware. Oh, fuck that. You know how many things I have? But you should change them. Actually, they say every 5 years you should change your cookware. But there's this, that sentimental things, or like the
you're starting to come sound like my parents. Stop this. Just throw it out.
They're replacing appliances every 10 years. So,
Okay.
so they say refrigerator, oven, dishwashers. I know you saw that flickering, and I'm going to get to that soon. Appliances. So that's interesting because I know the last appliances we received were a fridge for sure.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure it's been like 10 years reaching that. Mattress.
Yeah, that's like the average answer. You can still get another 5 out of that. Like,
you could just push it a little bit. No, and then we have an old fridge, and we probably had to change that because that probably kills the current, hands down. So like I know for sure, like I'm gonna say within a year to change that because it's been here since we've been here. And
okay.
fun fact, new mattress every 10 years. You're welcome. And air filters should be
But shouldn't it
changed
be like
once.
how much you're using?
Hey,
Not just regular.
What? Stop this. Stop this. Oh, smoke detectors. Smoke detectors. What is it? Smoke detectors and carbon monoxide. Is it filters or detectors?
There's both. There's smoke detectors and CO2 detectors. They do say it's good to it's better to have CO2 detectors or carbon monoxide detectors.
And then you should replace those the smoke detector every 10 years, and then obviously change your batteries.
Yeah.
It's this funny, it's a joke. Maybe 5 minutes ago, I heard my smoke alarm beep. I was like, of course. Of course it would happen.
That's just a learning. That's a learning. That's a learning for the viewing audience.
Right?
That you did on purpose.
Of course. So then we're at the stage where I want to basically teach you guys about. I want y'all to learn from my misery. So obviously in Canada, sorry, we have 4 seasons: spring, summer, fall, winter. Sometimes we have it all in one day.
We have winter and then not winter, really, is what we have.
Right? But so recently we turned on the furnace and all hell broke loose. So we basically realized that the wiring for the furnace is really messed up. And I love how you said that you don't touch electrical. And honestly, I wouldn't either because I don't know this stuff, right?
Oh yeah, there's a story behind that, but I'll leave it alone. I almost killed myself.
Oh my gosh, don't do it.
Yeah.
So
I tried to change the hood vent in my kitchen and
didn't go well.
I learned a lesson. Let's just put it that way.
Stick to the professionals. So
yes.
and then with being a homeowner, and I've always told this to my dad, like, listen, it's okay not to know everything.
Yep.
It's okay to get someone that has experience and stuff and probably would be able to educate you on why it's happening and all that stuff and have them fix it. And that's Absolutely. Why it is important to have a budget for these things, or the shit fund.
Yeah.
Because I've been saying that this whole dang week.
Absolutely.
Right?
I think you I think it comes with like being truthful with yourself on your limits, how handy you are and how quickly you can pick things up. But like for me, like I said, like I'll try plumbing, I'll try like little things, painting, obviously, like anything not harmful. Electrical, not touching.
Not touching.
I'll just bring someone in. And the thing too is like you may finish the job, but you don't know if you did it properly. And electrical like touches so many different things in the house. I'd rather just bring it in professional, as you can attest to by the flickering.
Do you see? Do you see the stress? Do you see the stress, babe? So not only is the furnace and the wiring messed up, so we got a quote. And when I heard the quote, I was like, ugh. I'm okay with the price. And then some people were like, what? That much? Yo, ask for another opinion. So I was like, all right, you know what? What harm can it do to ask for another opinion? So I asked people, do you guys know electricians? And to anyone when you guys saw my statuses and you're like, what about me? You dissed me. I don't remember these things, guys. I don't remember. So I apologize. But I appreciate everyone that, gave me referrals. So I did do some calling and stuff. And this man came in and he's like, this whole thing is a shit show. And I was like,
I have a question.
Does
your furnace need to be replaced as well?
No, it doesn't. Okay. So the fuse was blown because of like all the wiring. So that was fixed. So I was like, okay, this is okay. And then you know what? The best thing about it is that it's important to know who to go to with certain things in your house. Cause I actually realized that I didn't know who do I call when this happens or who do I call when that happens. And I was like, oh, I wish I just knew. So to the parents or to the homeowners or at all that stuff, like kudos to you guys, because these are things you have to like have in your phone book too. And also for parents that still have their adult children in, have a dang list. Have a list of the things, like just in case things go wrong. Because I actually did ask for this list. Didn't happen. I know some of them, but I felt like I was like a headless chicken running around. Because I was like, I don't know who to call.
Gotcha.
Who's this person for this? Who's this person for that? It was madness. So, as you see the flickering. This is my life.
Even the house is like, yep.
Right? So, this guy basically said.
That being said, even though you didn't get the list, did you come up with one yourself, or are you still waiting?
So I know most of them. So now that like people have come in, I'm like, okay, so you are for this? Okay, bet. I remember you. Now I had to put your phone number in my phone. So when shit goes wrong, I know who to call.
That's what I was saying. For the new homeowners, you basically got to build your own as as issues come up. You kind of build your own network along with maybe people that you may already know.
True.
So that's another thing I would say.
And it's crazy because like I think I've gotten 4 opinions from 4 different electricals, but they're all saying the same thing, but it's like different things that they could do. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to do it. You know what? I tried and it didn't work. I'm cool. I'm done. I'm not doing this.
Yes, so, but as the flickering above you has shown, the problem will continue.
I know, but so for folks that are listening and you're wondering like, why is Kamille like acting like this? Is like it's frustrating when you don't know the proper list or you don't know what the proper protocols is, right? Yeah. Like the guy said, like the wiring is a fire hazard, and I was like, what? Like any second, and I'm like, why wasn't this said before? Right? So then that cheesed me. And then not only was that, is like, okay, so what's your quote? 10 times the quote I had before. And I was like, oh. So
that's the part that kind of sucks, but at the same time, like we were talking about before we came on air, what is coming with the price they're quoting. And that kind of helps let you know, one, who might be trying to con you,
Mm-hmm.
to what the actual issue might be, like you were saying, with people who would actually teach you what's going on with your house, as opposed to
Exactly.
someone who's just quoting a price and being like, that's what it is, leave it to me and I'll fix it. Those are the
Mm-hmm.
people you don't really want to trust.
Correct.
And just general, like, learning about your house and learning things that might be going wrong so you can spot
Yes.
them. Hopefully it doesn't happen again, but
It's not because it's going to be fixed this week, and I will follow up with everyone. But you what you're saying is right. Is I rather someone teach me about what's happening. Like obviously, I'm not gonna know. If you've seen my notes, I was like, hold on, what did you say? Knobs, tubes, okay. The orange, the grounding, okay. I get that. I get all that. But and like you said, as a first homeowner, it is trial and error, and you're not gonna know everything. So if someone's willing to teach you, try to write it down, and it's good to get those people that like want to teach you and all that good stuff. And one of my other questions I always ask everyone, what's the 3 things that you wish you knew about like money or just being a homeowner previously?
oh, those are two. Okay. Um, so
It can be
in
both.
terms of the stuff I wish I knew about money before becoming a homeowner
Yeah,
is having multiple streams of income
true.
to help me fund buying a home.
Yes.
Because even so, say I started uh in terms of like a stock portfolio. Maybe it
Yes.
wouldn't had a lot of money at the time, but it's
Mm-hmm.
still an extra drop in the bucket as opposed to just having my money sitting in a savings account making barely anything, if
The
anything at
bank
all.
ain't your friend. I say it all
Exactly.
the time.
So there's that.
Yeah.
Um uh Getting as much information, like you asked me before about like the hidden costs and things like that that go into
Yeah.
a home.
Mm.
Um
And I think
just
you
so you're
mentioned, sorry to cut you off. I think you mentioned um knowing the right condo company to go with.
no, that
No,
like so
that was something
the
else. Sorry.
condo company, the condo corporation that takes care of my complex, that was already that's already done.
Okay.
But I would say knowing what you want, going like
Mm,
being truthful to yourself, like
true.
you know what size of condos there are in terms of
Average.
square footage.
Mm-hmm.
So are you really comfortable with that? Would it be better if you maybe, especially nowadays with remote work being slightly more acceptable,
Yeah.
would it be better for you to maybe move further out where it's cheaper, you can get a house
Mm,
that's maybe more your size, but you're
true.
outside of the city. So how much do you
And
do
commuting.
in the city
Ugh,
outside of work? Are you like big on art galleries, museums, and that kind of stuff? If that is, then maybe you want to stay close to the city. If
true.
not, maybe you want to move further out so you can get something that's closer to what you're looking for house wise. It's all about the balance but that comes with you being truthful to yourself and what you want. It's
True
not just about
to
the house, it's
yourself.
about the life that you're having that includes the house.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually.
Nice. So that's, I think that was 2.
Oh, was it?
And
Oh,
I think so. I think
uh,
so. Extra one, if anything.
an extra one would be do research on the neighborhoods you're looking at.
True. True. Yes.
So yeah, like I
Especially
got
if you're
lucky
gonna
in my
purchase.
neighborhood. Like there's a grocery store, Shoppers, and a beer store, like walking
I
distance.
didn't want to say it.
So I got really lucky. Like when I drove up and I saw that place, I
Yeah.
was like, okay, I might be
True.
home.
Yeah. You know what? Not that I've been, cruising around and stuff and looking for a house, but like every time I go to like someone's place just to
Yeah.
like drop off or pick up something, I'm always like, hey, You're close to a plaza. You have so many things. That's
Well, honestly, one thing I've noticed about the new builds now is they're building like infrastructure in the neighborhood. So they'll have a whole new build, but then either central or usually central to the surrounding houses, they're putting in at least a small plaza with like a convenience store, a small grocery store, and like a bank, one of the big four banks that's in there in that plaza. So that for the new builds, that usually comes with it. For like an older neighborhood, not as much. So you might want to do some more investigating.
True. And I mean, with the new build or the infrastructure, I think I can only speak for single folks. I think it's ideal to find those places with like the plaza and stuff. But if you're like a family and you're looking for like a perfect school or daycare and all that stuff, that's also important to know, because, or then also, and you know me, the speeding limits.
Oh.
Woo! Which they have a lot of speeding cameras coming out, and I need to learn all of them.
I mean, you could just go the speed limit, but you know, whatever.
Who does that? I mean,
most people that don't have to research where the cameras are going.
I'm joking, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go within the speed limit.
Wow.
I can't even see with a straight face.
Wow.
And also,
it's a good thing this isn't Say No to Drugs, huh? You're failing hard.
It's just I only go over like 5-10 on like streets and stuff. Highway, I'm not even going to talk about that. But yes, anyway, are you planning in the future to get like another home, like as like investment property, or just because you did talk about income streams?
Yep.
Were you taking that into consideration, or
I would love to.
A baby Hayden.
What did you say?
Nothing. Carry on.
I honestly, I would love to get another home, but it's expensive out here, to be quite honest. And like even in Brampton, like Brampton used to be the place you would look for cheaper homes outside of Toronto, but I've seen like even now, like a beginner detached home in Brampton, you're looking at like $750 for like a fixer upper. I and once again, it comes down to what you're comfortable with. I've looked out as far as Windsor. You can find affordable out there, but that once again, it comes with like what kind of life do you? Windsor's definitely not Toronto, so like what kind of life? Like it still comes down to what kind of life, what do you want your life to look like, and then how does a home fit into that? Because there's no way around it. It's expensive out here, so it kind of comes down to what kind of life do you want.
I seen on because I'm in a lot of groups just to get like a better understanding of, each category is like housing, stocks, and all that stuff. And I know there is a program that they have with helping people get more homes. I'm not sure if it's investment homes as well, but I
thought that program was more for like low income families.
Oh, I'm gonna have to double check and see, because I can't.
I'm not 100%, but I'm if it's the same one I'm thinking of, I'm pretty sure that's for like low income families. But there is other stuff out there. Like I think I've seen programs where it's like almost like a rent to own.
Yes. Oh, I forgot about that. So would you consider that? Like if you went back like 8 years ago or whatnot, would you have considered a rent to own? Because I think
I'd have to look at it, because like it's higher risk, higher rewards. So I believe like if you miss a payment or two,
Yeah.
you're out everything. So
Ish.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's pros and cons to everything. You got to weigh out what's the best for you, because there's some people, like, times are tight right now, so it's very hard to come up with a down payment. Rent to own might be the avenue that
What
works
works
best
for
for you,
you?
right? So for people who may not be able to save, but they know they have a steady check coming in, be the best way to go.
True.
Because for me, the way the prices are going up, you're basically you're kind of chasing down payment right now, just because month to month the prices just keep going up.
I would definitely see, and I know, and Andre's not on this episode, but I know he's looking for like type investments in like outskirts. I'll definitely like connect you with him.
Yep.
And see like if you're down and stuff, like those type of considerations, because having multiple streams of income is the way to be to do it at the moment.
Honestly,
right?
It's almost like you can't afford not to these days, to be quite honest. Like, between housing, even the amount it costs to get a new car now, or sorry, even a used car are basically new car prices. Gas is going to be, I've seen reports where it's saying it's going to be up to $2 before winter is over. So everything's going up. What's that?
I gotta get some gas tonight.
I was out earlier today, and dollar was $1.48.
Yeah, I saw $1.48 too. I was in Durham and I saw $1.46, and I was like, maybe I can get it cheaper if I go back into Nope. So, for the homeowners that commute a lot, it's always wise to wait till nighttime to get that gas. Don't do it like, I'll just do it in the morning before I go to work. Come on. We all know we're not going to do it, or we're going to be late for work. So you decide what you want to do.
That being said, I will have to put the caveat out there. Depending on your area, if you're female, wait until the morning.
Yes. That is absolutely right. Because there's an area in Durham, I think in Ajax, where it's not safe. So, okay, do it in the evening, ladies.
Know your area is all I'm saying.
Yes, know your area. And there's like, I don't know, Morningside area, Morningside and Shepherd. Is it Shepherd? Yeah. Morningside and Shepherd sometimes has like the cheapest gas. So, I mean, know your area as well.
Yeah.
Because there could be some cheaper areas in Brampton and all that stuff.
But even like prices for if anyone has obviously noticed, groceries are going up, everything's going up. So
the price,
you got to budget a lot of things.
Yes.
Exactly. The price has gone up. Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Exactly. And Hayden, it was a pleasure. Look at it. See, and you were no, actually, I'll say it offline.
Thank you. Thank you.
It was a great topic. I'm glad you're able to give insight of a townhouse, which is kind of like, it's not like a not like a condo, but it gives that same vibes of a condo. Because like the townhouses, so the townhouse might be a great idea, especially for individuals that are, single and all that stuff, or looking to have a family. So take that.
It's a good starter home if you're single or
start there. That's the word. Starter home, not to flip and all that stuff. Just build your foundation that way and all that stuff and things. And once again, tell the folks where they can find you to get some nice barbecue sauce. If they want some heat, some spiciness.
First of all, we know you're soft on the spicy, so
I can handle it a little bit. I'm supposed to cook it. Never mind. Carry
Yeah.
on.
Anyways, on Instagram, it's HB0805. I am working on a site for the sauce, but for now, that's where you can contact me. And Cloudy Boys Sauces and Rubs will be hitting shelves spring, summer 2022. And thank you for having me on the podcast. It's really an awesome experience, to be quite honest.
Hey, see, that's what I do. That's what we do.
Wow.
You know, the podcast is supposed to be like, bringing the community together and just, enlightening. Even if you guys are learning on my misery, it's fine. As it flickers, see? And that's what
the podcast is definitely entertaining, so I've definitely learned a lot.
See, I was supposed to do the but I could do it myself.
I mean, more so from Andre, but
wow.
You're cool too.
Okay. You know what? Cool. This is the type of relationship we have, so it's cool. I didn't expect anything less.
I pay you off in sauce, so this is how I work.
But thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for another episode. I hope you guys learned a lot. And we're just gonna tune out with Andre's tune. Wish he was here, but yes.
Anyway,
Oh, serious.
Choo!